Evening, actually. Right, so good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining in Storytelling for Job Interviews. My name is Uday Kiran. And welcome all of you who have joined in from all over the country. It's a pleasure to be a part of this entire initiative of igniting abilities as part of the Saarathi team. It's a great opportunity to interact with all of you. And let's get started. You know, one of the things that I always tell about myself is that a story got me my first job. This was way back in December 1997, and I was a student in TFI Management Institute in Manipal, and we were all preparing for group discussions and interviews. And at that point of time, one of the things that we were also looking at was for all the current affairs topics that were there. So one of the topics at that point of time is this India Today cover that you're seeing on the next. It was called something as the VDIS, or the Voluntary Disclosure Income Scheme. So I know most of you might have not heard about it. So let me tell you a bit about that. So India, at that point of time, the finance minister was P. Chidambaram. They said that, look, we must get a lot of people to pay taxes. So why not we do a tax amnesty scheme, a one-time tax amnesty scheme, where anyone can come and deposit their tax after just declaring whatever they have for a long period of time, right? So all you could do, even if you never paid your tax, you have to just go to the form, fill up the form, say how much tax you have, calculate 35% of it and deposit it in a box. No questions asked. It was a sensational scheme. People were really, really happy about it. A lot of people came out and actually paid. And it was a fantastic thing. Like you said, some 25,000 crores was collected. It was a big thing. So me and my friend Pramod thought that, yes, this is going to be definitely a question that will come in the interviews. Maybe we should prepare for it. And me and Pramod prepared for it, right? And as luck would have it, just 7 days later, I was sitting in the group discussion for the interview. And suddenly one of the persons who just picked up a small sheet of paper and said, okay, this is your topic, VDIS, boon or a bane, go for it. Now we're about 10 of us in that room, and I don't know if some of you might have attended a group discussion. Group discussions are generally like fish fights, like how you fight in the Delhi Sadar Bazaar market, or in the Calcutta's fish market, or in Bangalore's Avenue Road market. Everyone is screaming at each other, shouting at each other, wanting, and I thought I was the only one prepared. Everyone was prepared. And it was a 20-minute thing. And I was about 10 minutes into it. I said, oh my God, nothing is happening. I didn't even say a single word. This job is going. Which is when I think about 10th or the 11th minute, everyone stopped to just take a breath, right? Everyone was trying to take a breath and a collective sigh of relief. And that is when I got in. And I said, you know, folks, I know all the points are very valid, but I have something that I want to share with you. My dad joined the State Bank of India 20 years back as a very small clerk, and his salary was just 50 rupees per month. And today, of course, is a general manager, but he had an extended family to support. He had his wife. At that point of time, I was not there, and then his salary incrementally increased, and he had a large joint family to support. It was a very difficult thing for him financially. But at no point of time in his entire life, in his government life, not a single month, not a single year, he did not pay tax. Every month, he ensured that his income tax was paid. And I think for him, and like millions of honest government servants like that, something like VDIS is a big injustice. It is not being fair. There was a lot of silence in the room. Nobody talked. And then after 30 seconds, everyone started talking, because that is when they realized that I didn't have to talk anymore, because the only thing that everyone was talking after that was about what I said to them. Needless to say, I got the job. And many months later, when I was traveling with my boss in one of the markets, he told me, Uday, you know what? That story that you told, in the interview, in the group discussion. I think that kind of made me pick you up, because that was one moment where you could influence everyone in the panel. A few months later, I was getting inducted myself in the sales. I joined in this company called Everready, which was selling batteries. And I was sent off to this market in Bishnupur district, Burdwan district in West Bengal, called Bishnupur. And it was 25th of June. And I was standing in front of this big wholesaler, and he was extremely angry with me because I could not supply him his batteries and torches that he required for the day. Those days, Everready, the company that I was working for, was selling on demand. So you did not have enough stocks to give everyone. And if you did not give Everready batteries to someone, that guy could not sell his other items too. So which means that he would not be able to make his profits. So this guy looked at me and said, look, Kalka Chokra, you're a new management guy. And I was nicely dressed from South Indian, from Visakhapatnam. So he was like shouting at me, gave me choicest of abuses in Bengali. And so much so that I had to kind of run around, hustle, and get him his share of batteries and torches, somehow pulling all strings that I know in the first 3 hours. And by afternoon, I could supply to him. He was so happy. He treated me with the best ever rasgulla that I've ever had. And that was my day one in sales, right? That was my first ever experience. And that is where I started off my 23-year-old career in sales and marketing with 3 large companies. All right. I've shared something with you, right? Now, for all the listeners and everyone who's watching me, basis the last few minutes on the chat, or you can unmute yourself. What else have you been able to sense about my character? What do you know about me that you don't know about me in the last 2 minutes, or the last 3-4 minutes that I've told you, whatever I've told? What do you know about Uday Kiran, and what do you know about Uday's character? You can type on your chat, or anyone can just unmute. Anyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I speak Hindi. Is it okay?
हाँ हाँ, आप हिंदी में बात कर लीजिए, नो प्रॉब्लम.
सर, आपने स्टोरी टेलिंग की टेक्निक यूज करी, और इस स्टोरी में मैंने ये समझा है कि आपने एक पार्टिसिपेशन में भाग लिया था, जिसमें कि आप विन हुए थे. उसके बाद में आपको जॉब लगा. वो जॉब थी, मैं भूल गया वो कौन सी कंपनी थी. उसके बाद में फिर से आपने आपके फैमिली में भी बताया कि आपके फादर क्या करते थे, और फिर आपने वो एक्सपीरियंस उस स्टोरी में बताया, जो कि आपने वो कंपटीशन में पार्ट लिया था. उसके वजह से आपको जॉब लगा, क्योंकि आपके बॉस ने आपकी स्टोरी टेलिंग की स्किल पता करी थी. और इसी में ये स्टोरी में ही पता चलता है कि आपने एक चांस ढूंढा कि सब लोग शांत बैठे, और उसमें से मैं कैसे उस चांस को अपॉर्चुनिटी में कन्वर्ट कर पाऊं. ओके. और फिर उसके बाद में आपने ये बताया कि आपका जो सेकंड जॉब था, उसमें आप कैसे एंटर हुए, और वो जॉब में आपका एक्सपीरियंस क्या था, और उसे आपने कैसे हैंडल करा. वो मुझे पता चला. और इसी के साथ आपका जो दोस्त है, उनका मैं नाम भूल गया, मुझे वो भी पता चला कि आपका एक दोस्त था कि उन्होंने और आपने दोनों ने साथ में ही प्रिपरेशन किया था.
थैंक यू सो मच. आपका नाम? योगेश.
मैं योगेश कड़ हूँ सर, महाराष्ट्र.
योगेश, थैंक यू सो मच. आपने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से बताया. जाहिद हुसैन ने बताया करेज. योगेश, और मैं सबको एक 30 सेकंड में पूछना चाहता हूँ. योगेश ने बताया कि मैंने क्या बोला. योगेश, आप मेरे बारे में आप अभी क्या जानते हैं? अभी मेरे व्यक्तित्व के बारे में क्या जानते हैं? व्हाट डू यू नो अबाउट मी?
अभी तो सर हमें पहचाने थोड़ा ही वक्त हुआ है, तो मुझे
नहीं,
ये
लेकिन स्टोरी के साथ कुछ पता चला होगा, राइट?
हाँ, यही कि आप एक बेस्ट स्टोरी टेलर हो.
बाकी लोग, मैं ये अपनी तारीफ के लिए नहीं पूछ रहा था. बट एनीवन एल्स? रोहित, आई कैन सी योर हैंड गो अप. वुड यू वांट टू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड टेल समथिंग? Rohit has his hand up. Anyone else? I'm just going to give about 10 seconds. Jasdeep is saying a person who can work through any challenge presented to me. Who else? Thank you so much, Jasdeep. That's the right thing. that's something that, yeah, that's a great thing. Thanks so much. Anyone else? I'm just going to give about 15 seconds for anyone else to kind of come back. Right. So go ahead. Yeah. Who's this? Prashant.
यस, आपके व्यक्तित्व में मुझे ये लगा कि आप बहुत ही काम हो और फोकस भी हो आपके काम काम के बारे में.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prashant. मैंने इसलिए, मैं अगर चाहता था कि अगर आप मेरे बारे में कुछ सोचें या समझें, I could have actually asked any of the Saradhi team कि हाँ मुझे अभी इंट्रोड्यूस करो, और they could have introduced me like saying हाँ उदय किरण 25 years काम करते थे, इन तीनों कंपनी में काम किया, एक स्टोरी टेलर हैं, एक स्टोरी टेलिंग का ट्रेनिंग बहुत अच्छी तरह से कर लेते हैं. लेकिन मैंने क्या किया, इंस्टेड ऑफ टेलिंग ऑल ऑफ दैट, मैंने आप अपने जीवन का एक इम्पॉर्टेंट घटना को लेके मैंने उसको एक स्टोरी में कन्वर्ट करके 2-3 मिनट में आपको सुनाया था. दैट इज व्हाट आई डिड. आई हैव शोड यू what my life is, right? And because of that, Zahid is talking to me that Zahid does not know that I'm courageous. Jasdeep doesn't know that I'm a person who can work in any challenge. Yogesh jo abhi bataye the, he is able to remember me because he will always remember me because of the stories. The reason why I'm kind of showing you this is because stories are very powerful, right? So the storytelling को मैं ऐसे define करता हूँ कि stories are facts which are wrapped in context and which are delivered with emotion. That's the biggest definition of stories. और business storytelling में अगर मैं अपने बारे में बता सकूं कि मैंने sales and marketing में काम किया, I've been a business and data storyteller, I've been a leadership coach, I've been training in a lot of organizations, and I do a lot of work on stories. But the most important thing that I really wanted all of you to understand is that एक जो business story है, अगर आप बताते हैं, the way you talk about it and the way you showcase, it will show a bit more to the interview panel about who you are and what you are and what you are made of, much better than anything else, right? And we will explore a lot of it in the next 45 to 1 hour. We will do a lot. I will showcase some very interesting techniques and very interesting things that we can do in order to learn stories. So we'll focus on 4 things. पहले हम स्टोरी टेलिंग क्या है इसके बारे में, फाउंडेशंस के बारे में सीखेंगे. उसके बाद वी विल डू समथिंग ऑन हम लोगों के साथ कनेक्शन कैसे करें. आप जब इंटरव्यू में जाते हैं, द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू हैव टू डू इज पीपल इन द इंटरव्यू पैनल मस्ट लाइक यू, राइट? अगर आप if anyone has to hire you or give you a job, more than your qualifications, more than anything else, in the first 5-6 minutes, once they start talking to you, right, उनको लगना चाहिए कि ये बंदा अच्छा है, या this girl is nice, this person is nice, this person is like me. So उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. उसके बाद आपने अपने करियर में या in your life, what all success you have done, how to showcase that in a nice story, we will try to learn that. And then सबको मिला के how do we really prepare for all of these things, I will share with you, right? And then towards the end, if you have any questions, I'll be able to do that. Right. मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूं, I want to ask all of you, and you can actually say on the chat yes or no. How many of you think you're natural storytellers? On the chat, I know that there are about, how many? About 40 people now online.